Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Compound Saturday here at the Archery World Cup Final in Odense, Denmark. Today we will be featuring the Compound Women's quarterfinal matches followed by the Men's Compound quarterfinal matches. And it is a beautiful day here in the King's Garden as we get underway for our morning here on Saturday. The weather is a balmy 19 degrees Celsius with 89% humidity and perfect shooting conditions here on the field of play. And just in a few moments, we will get underway with our first match, starting with two archers from the United States of America. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our judge and coaches for our first Compound Women's quarterfinal match. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field of play for Compound Women's quarterfinal match number 1. Representing the United States of America, she was the 2016 individual silver medalist at the World Cup in Antalya. On target number 1, Dahlia Crook. Representing the United States of America. In 2015, she was the silver medalist for the individual competition at the World Championships right here in Denmark, in Copenhagen. On target number 2, Crystal David. The line judge for this match is Luca Stuckey. 15 arrows between these two competitors will find out who will be moving on to the semifinal. And the archer on target number 2, Crystal David, will be shooting first when we commence.
Stand your shot, strong shots.
Nice strong shots. Just start it off right like you always do. Just low, just under. Okay, another strong shot, just like the first one. You got it now.
Good shot, dude. Just left.
There you go. Okay, another good shot here.
Same spot,
just like you always do.
Straight left.
Okay, just low. Just barely, it's like, yeah, it's like an 1/8 inch underneath it, so it's probably a little bit different for this field right now, because the flag is coming towards us. It was never going towards us.
9. After 3 arrows,
right leg got next to a little bit high. Your first two were right next to each other.
Putting this
That's the only difference it is that headwind there. The shots
The
look really good. Just keep it there. Yeah. No, like I said, that flag was straight on to us at first.
Against their competitor. That's 5 ends of 3 arrows. The archer with the highest score after 15 arrows will be declared the winner. If that score is tied, then we will go to a 1-arrow shoot-off. Each archer will shoot 1 arrow.
Oh no, they're just barely getting up there. Yeah, anytime there's that platform, it takes a little bit.
If that is still tied,
Was it
then
where you
we'll go to a 2nd arrow shoot-off until a winner is decided. As of right now, Ms. Dolan is in the lead, and since she is in the lead, Ms. Crook will be shooting first on target number 1 when we resume.
Hey, nothing else.
Yep, she'll start it off on this one.
9. Target 1.
You want water?
9. Target 2, 10, 9, 9.
No, they took one up there in case they needed it too.
9,
And also,
9.
ladies and gentlemen,
Strong shot.
No, they always take it so they don't go up and
when your
down.
favorite archer shoots a 10 or a 9, it is sometimes very difficult to do that here on this field of play. So let's not make this like golf and make this a little bit more exciting than that.
Hey,
And
Dolly,
the scores right now are
use that
getting
energy
right
to
now,
be strong and
waiting
confident.
for these scores to come in officially from the target.
Right in the middle, D.
And we have confirmation. Crystal Dobbin, 28. Elliot Crook, 27. Ms. Crook shooting first.
Get him, D. Nice and easy.
Okay, nice strong shot here, Crystal. Okay, same spot, a little low there.
Good shot, D.
Okay, another strong shot.
There you go.
Like your first one.
That's the shot you're looking for.
There you go. Just under the X-ring. That's good. That was a good shot.
Eight.
Another strong shot. Just like this. Second one.
Your bow is bouncing a lot. Did you turn around? Nerves?
8 or 9 on the line.
Yeah, it's just on the left side there.
And Crystal Dobbin's last arrow could be an 8 or 9, and that's another little thing we have to explain, is that if there's an arrow that is on the line, it could be touching the line. And if
Unless we get a miracle call. That's all right. Everything is starting to barely on that left side too, so.
Out of the 2 scoring zones. And that's why we have the judge down at the target right now. To take a closer look at that arrow and confirm if that arrow is an 8 or 9.
We have
We'll find out right after this.
So, the shots are great. That's all we care about. We can adjust now. Yeah. Come on, Joe. Give it a 9.
You got this. Remember what we said. Every shot is
magnifying
going to be your best shot. Doesn't matter what happened before. Doesn't matter who's winning or losing. Okay? One shot at a time. Take it all the way through the full shots.
It's a 9. Come on. I know it's a 9.
And breathe.
It's a 9. It's a 9.
Breathe. Be it, live it, enjoy it. Enjoy.
Target 1, X, 8,
That last
7.
shot.
Target 2, 10, 9, 9.
You just shot it.
9. It's a 9. Yeah, I heard him call it a 9. That's good. Good. There you go.
Bringing the score to a 4-point differential, 56 to 52.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Didn't know where they went to. I saw them walking. I thought they were on the bottom side. Check that in. Make sure there's no target guts because I felt something.
Have fun.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, do 1 second again, so it's good.
10, 10, 10. Perfect score. Strong shot, D.
Nine.
Nice strong shot here.
Just out. Good shot.
Nine.
Just under it.
Eight.
Okay, nice strong shot here.
Reset. Strong shot now.
There you go. Just above the slider. Good shot.
Right in the middle. Strong.
Ten.
Good job.
Another strong shot.
Good job. That's what you're going to do every time. Strong shots. Good job.
Nine.
You went right back in that other groove.
9 arrows, and that's a total
Just as I
score
think we
of
go back in the
90
next one, we
points.
go back
Super
there.
Cotton at 84, Dahlia Crook with 79, and I do think we have to make a special mention that right now on the field of play is our youngest competitor for the World Cup final. That's Dahlia Crook. At the age of 16, I'm willing to bet she's happy with all the schools she's missing right now to get out here and compete in Denmark. So that's quite the feat.
And it is a lot hotter now because I've been like, holy cow.
At only 16 years.
I wonder if it's this material because my whole front is like hot.
Big deep breath.
Hyundai Archery.
Yeah, I can't believe it because I was literally cold over there.
He's behind by 5 points, 79 to 84. Miss Collin. Miss Cook will be shooting first, coming up into the last 6 arrows of this quarterfinal match.
Think about being in the basement of Braden's house. Right?
Okay, we still need our arrows. No, we need arrows.
Thank you. Yep. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Visualize. Blank bell on Braden. It's a perfect shot.
Nine.
Okay, start off nice strong shot like you've been doing. There you go.
Nine.
Just barely off at 8 o'clock. I'd give it 1 or 2 down and make sure we're in there.
Nine.
Okay, another strong shot, just like the first one. You'll get in there.
Nine.
Blank belly.
Ten.
Nice strong
There
shot
you go.
here.
You should did. Choose as many as you can. You're doing just fine. Relax and have fun.
Nine.
Yeah. Just left a little bit. Everything in there.
Relax and have fun.
4-point lead for
4
Miss
point.
Collin,
You
111
can
to
do this.
107
You know that.
unequally after 12
You realize
arrows.
just go out there
and
and shoot.
A little bit of sun hitting our peak. Well, you
124
should by now, so that's
Going
good.
into our final 3 arrows of
Seems
this
like
We got 3 more arrows to go. Don't worry about that.
We
Could
have
be a
our
little bit on the
youngest
left.
competitor on the field.
Yeah, but it didn't look like it was that bad. Just make your shot, you'll be fine. You clicked it already? It'll go in the middle now.
10 or more international medals under her belt, so she is.
I mean, except for that one arrow, you've missed everything by less than a millimeter, so I'm not worried about it.
Showing that through her shooting. Coming up into the last 3 arrows, right after official scoring has taken place.
9, 9.
I like that camera view.
9, 9, 9.
Right on top. I saw him adjusting it on the other part of the one.
You gotta wait for your arrows to come back. You got a few minutes. You want some water? But listen to what I just said. Really? Give me some trips. Give me trips. Really?
Yeah, way slow. Yeah, don't worry about that until we get our arrow.
Okay. But you gotta take.
Thank you. Here we go.
And once again, Dahlia Cook will be shooting
Come on,
first on
Dave.
target number 1 into the final
go, girls,
3
USA.
arrows of this quarterfinal match.
This is strong. Nice strong shot here.
Make that adjustment.
Good elevation, that's perfect. Just to the right.
Nice shot.
Okay, another strong shot here.
Go to Moss.
There you go.
Come on, dude.
Nice strong shot here. Let's finish it good. We went like this, right across.
And after our first match for the morning, we see that Crystal Dalton has been
Focus on
moving
that.
on
We're going to go into 10s from now on. We had last time we were going to
semifinal match.
10s. So.
Great shooting from Dahlia Crook, taken out in the 1 quarterfinal, USA versus USA. We knew that somebody was going to the semifinals, but it was Crystal Dalton from the United States of America. Moving on to the semifinals that will be shot later on this afternoon. Congratulations, ladies, and good luck in the next round.
Let's take this.
Oh, I was like, that's impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
6, 9, 7.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more round of applause to our athletes and great shooting from both these ladies. And we're standing by for our next quarterfinal match coming up in just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the coaches and judge for our next quarterfinal match. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field of play. Representing Italy, She has had podium finishes in every category. That's team, mixed team, and individual this year at the Hyundai World Cup. And that was in Medellin, in Colombia. On target number 1, Marcella Tomioli. Representing India, she was a 2-time bronze medalist in team at World Cups in Antalya in 2014 and then in Medellin, Colombia in 2013. All the way from India. On target number 2, Lily Ponam. The line judge for this match is Suzanne Wormsley. And once again, here we are in a quarterfinal match. Winner moving on to the semi-final, which will be later on this afternoon. 15 arrows to decide who is going to be going on to the semis. Find out in just a few moments. Tomioli will be shooting first on target number 1.
Yes.
10. 9 or 10 on the line.
Yes. No.
10.
Sí, amor, hasta acá a tu lado.
Eight.
Yes. No. 8. 7.
9.
Vamos a ver.
9 or 10 on the line. Spotters are calling that a 10, and unofficially right now, Marcella Tomioli with 29 points and Lily Ponam with 26, 27, or 28 points. And we'll find out what her first and third arrows score when the judge takes a closer look downrange at the targets. These can sometimes be the most anxious moments for some archers waiting to find out what those arrows are actually scored. And we can see the judge taking a closer look at Ms. Ponam's arrows on target number 2. She's got 2 arrows that could be 9s or 10s, and that can determine how close this match actually is once that judge has made a decision.
Target 1, X 10, 9. Target 2, 10, 10, 8.
And both arrows have been upgraded. They are both 10s, and we have a 1-point match, 29 to 28 in favor of Ms. Tomioli. Ms. Ponam will be shooting first on target number 2, and she's got 28 points, only dropping 1 arrow outside of the 10 ring, which was an 8, and she leads off our next end.
you can leave the field.
Nine.
Dieci, 9.
Ten.
Cioè.
Ten.
Dieci.
Ten.
Siamo.
Stabilize aces.
Takes a lot of strength.
Yeah.
Sono tutte e due leggermente a sinistra.
Tonioli might have a pair of tens. We'll have to wait and see. That asterisk that Torben was talking about, placed next to that 9. No doubt about that shot by Lily Chanou-Panam. Beautifully done. 2 tens to finish off the second end for the Indian archer. Bidding to make a comeback.
Otto.
And might be tied and is tied. No, excuse me, Marcella. Well, at least, yes, we look at that
I
score.
would say she got 3 tens.
She's got
That
3
was
tens.
sure.
She may have 3 tens.
Yeah.
So both of these ladies doing an outstanding job here through the first 2 ends. Lily Chanou-Panam. There's Marcella Tonioli, who in 2016 we said did defeat Lily Chanou by 5 points in a quarterfinal match.
There's a fun thing about Antona, the Italian girl. You can't see it now, but I don't know if I met her 20 or 30 times. And I bet you I've seen her with 20 or 30 different hair colors.
Marcella
It's
is
little
a
bit
free spirit.
blue right now. Yeah.
She is a free spirit.
She is.
Part of what we enjoy about Marcella Tonioli. Big smile on her face almost all the time you're around her. Enjoying life, enjoying the sport. She enjoyed her time in Medellin this past summer on the World Cup circuit, stage 2. Won an individual bronze medal and a team bronze medal down in Colombia. Came close to winning the bronze medal in the bronze medal match on Coney Alti Beach in Antalya. Had to settle for 4th place, but did pick up very important World Cup points that helped her get to where she is right now, straddling that line as we head to the 3rd end in the 2nd match, the World Cup Finals, and Marcella leading by 2, 59-57.
That is actually what we expect to see in the World Cup Finals, that one archer is taking out 1 point in the round. As long as they can take 1 point every round, it's very good shooting from that archer.
It adds up.
Yeah.
10, 9.
Panam opens with a 9, and Tonioli counters with a 10, so there's the 1 point you were talking about.
What I talked about, and again you see Antonioli's target face. You see the group high up in the 10, and she dropped 1, but it's still a 10.
9.
Sticks it in the 9 ring,
Yep.
but needs to be shooting 10s now as we're reaching the midway point of this match. Tonioli with that left eye closed.
Strong anchoring and strong shooting from Antonioli.
See how steady she was?
Boom. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Focused, steady. Back-to-back 10s for Tonioli, who's now widening out her lead. She's up by 4. Ah, down the middle.
That's it. That's what we call a dead spider. For the judges to call, we got a little cross right in the middle of the target so they could put on the measurement and measure the arrows in case of a shootout. That was perfect.
runs the table. 10s across the board for Marcella Tonioli, who had to come up in her mind with that shot just to match her opponent.
She just did what all archers are shooting for. 3 good shots, 3 strong shots, and 3 X's. A nice group right in the middle.
And you can just tell from her body language the confidence that she's carried into this match, which she now leads by 4 points, 89-85.
Yeah.
Lily Chanou-Panam is shooting well herself.
Oh yeah, it's not bad shooting. It's just that Tonelli is ahead of her. She's just, I don't know the English word for it, over the top. She can't be beaten. That's the feeling she got right now.
She's showing that at least. As for Lily, this summer was a good one, a very consistent season for Lily Chanou-Panam. Was in the top 10 in all 3 of the World Cup events that we had in Shanghai, Medellin, and Antalya. She finished 9th in China, was 6th in Colombia, and was 9th in Turkey. So 3 top 10 finishes, and all along the way, despite the fact she wasn't medaling, Torben, she was picking up important World Cup points.
Exactly, exactly. And I hope Marcella Antonelli has got some wins this year in the World Cup, or medals at least.
Yeah, she had that bronze medal that she won in Medellin.
Yeah.
So that was a big, big time for her.
And then she must have had the rest in the top 10 as well.
She picked up points to go along with that.
Yeah.
Was able to finish in that top 7. Only the top 7, and then of course the 8th archer in the field for men and women comes from the host nation.
9.
And we'll see that a little bit later on in the match featuring Sarah Holst Sonneshen as she takes on Erika Anir, also from Denmark.
Yep.
10, 9.
9 by Lily and hard to call it. It looks like it might be
the
out.
little star again.
Yeah, I think so. That might be just grazing that line. Might be good enough for a 10. But right now the lead stays at 4 as Panam puts it in the 8 ring.
Maybe picked up a little bit wind now. I can see that there's a little bit now. Maybe the archers feel it a little bit more than is necessary.
Tonioli tough though. The wind's out there, didn't affect her that time.
Nope.
You can see that scoreboard right down there beneath the targets, indicating to the archers what the wind speed is and what direction it's coming from. Trying to process all that. They line up their shots. And is it going to be 2 10s and a 9, or is it going to be 2 9s and a 10 for Marcella Tonioli? In any case, she's going to have a rather comfortable lead heading into the 5th end here at the King's Garden in Odense, Denmark.
If the wind picks up, the archers got some flags. You see the flags on the top of the targets, 1 red and 1 yellow. And there actually is a few flags along the shooting line as well. And you'll probably see some archers using a piece of thread from the stabilizer, the front stabilizer. And all that indicates for them if the wind picks up or if there is wind and the wind drops, so you got a wind hold you can shoot in. So they're very concentrated on the stuff, not just hitting the middle, but they actually have to read the environment around them as well. You very often you listen for the trees because they whisper to you that the wind is coming, and then you check your marks and your flags and all that.
So Torben, what you're telling me is you talk to the trees. Well, they talk to you.
They might put me in the hospital now.
After a few pints, I think I hear the trees too.
But maybe you need to be a little bit crazy to be an archer on this level.
Yeah, and you need to be able to process information like a computer, because there's a lot of it coming in.
Yeah.
So many things to think about. But the archers who can process all that and then block it all out, focus on that small, small, small little 10 ring 50 meters away. Lily Chanou-Panam from India, needing a strong end right here and hoping to get a little bit of help, but has to help herself. 9's good. 10 would have been better, much better, especially in her situation right now.
9.
Va bene, va bene.
Yeah.
Lead stays at 6. Bonhomme puts it on the 10 ring. Look how steady that left arm is. Not wavering. Oh boy. Not a surprise. She's solid as a rock. Now Lily lets it fly. Winds up in the 9 ring.
She's got a nice group going on there, but unfortunately a little bit too low.
And there it is. She didn't need a whole lot, but she went for the whole enchilada and got it. A 10 on her final shot. Marcella Tonioli comes up with a first-round win here at the World Cup Finals, defeating Lily Shanu Panam of India.
That was world-class shooting. She actually put up a 147, dropped only 3 points.
3 away from a perfect score.
Under this pressure, that's amazing. It's yeah.
She looks so calm, so peaceful, so composed and focused. Bodes well for what is to come for Marcella Tonioli later on today. So Marcella Tonioli, who defeated Lily Shanu Panam by 5 this past summer in World Cup action, comes away with another victory over her opponent from India. Put up a pretty strong fight, actually.
Oh yeah, but that's actually another thing that many archers that don't do competition on this level, they think that that these athletes, they're not nervous. They think they're so calm they can just nothing touches them. I know Antonioli, and if I go out now and shake her hand, I don't have to shake. She's doing it for me.
But it's learning how to handle those nerves.
That's what it's all about. That you can stay calm when it counts, but inside, I bet you there's a World War III going on. That's for sure.
And the same is probably true for this young lady, Yeşim Bostan from Turkey, the 21-year-old, ranked 6th in the world coming in, averaging 9.5 points per arrow, has 28 wins on her resume, and 2 of those have been in tiebreakers. Her top qualifying score in her brief career, 697. She'll be up against another top-flight young archer. This is the 25-year-old Inge van Kaspel from the Netherlands, who's making her first World Cup final appearance. Same goes for Yeşim Bostan. Inge van Kaspel ranked 11th in the world, 49 match wins in her career, averages 9.4 per arrow, has won 4 tiebreakers. The young lady from Amsterdam. And that is a point we really haven't touched on yet so far, Torben. There are a lot of people in this World Cup Finals field who've gotten to this point and gotten to this level of competition for the first time in their careers. So it's a learning experience for them too.
Yeah, it is.
Here we go again. 15 arrows.
I can't find the word for it right now.
You know, as much as the World Cup, I think the World Cup season and the World Cup tour gets them ready for it. No. Until you reach this level and you're here in the spotlight, you know, you've got to experience it to understand how to deal with it.
That's definitely. I just spoke to some of the male compound archers yesterday, and we talked about that. It's incredible that you're shooting a whole tournament of 2 rounds of 36 arrows, then you shoot elimination rounds, you shoot final rounds, and all you can use is actually the last 6 or 3 arrows. Mm-hmm. All the rest is just something you've got to get through. It's down to the last 3 arrows. That's where it all happens. You drop 1 arrow, you're out.
Out.
That's it. And it can easily happen.
Life isn't fair, is it?
No.
But it's the same for everybody. So I guess in that sense it is.
Yeah.
Pair of 10s to start off this 3rd match in the women's compound action here at the World Cup Finals in Odense, Denmark. Another 10.
It's nice stable shooting. But I can guarantee you one thing. They might not have shot for many, many years, but they spend a lot of hours every day shooting.
Getting ready for this.
Oh, yeah.
And the first to falter just a little bit. And when I say falter, that means just dropping out of the 10 ring into the 9. Yashim Bostan, who falls a point behind Inge van Kaspel. Can she take advantage of that by running the table here in the opening end? You hear the countdown behind her.
That was, yeah.
Waited a long time.
She struggled to get that shot off.
There's only a couple of seconds left for her to get the shot away, and it's an 8. So an opportunity right here now for the Turkish archer. And she may have cashed in. That's a 10-liner. It's all of a sudden a reversal of fortunes for Yashim Bostan. She was looking at trailing Torben, and now she's got the lead by 1.
Yeah.
And we have 1 point separating these 2 archers after the first 3 arrows.
So an 8.
Maybe Inge van Kaspel start thinking about that. I got 2 10s. Oh, 3 could be awesome. So she moved her focus from actually doing the right moves to get the 10 to get focused on the points, and big mistake.
Inge van Kaspel this season, 7th in Shanghai, did not compete in Medellin, and was 5th in Antalya. So picked up a lot of points at the 2 tour stops she was able to get to. Not always easy for these archers to get to all 3 of the World Cup tour events. Finances do play a part of it.
Definitely finances is a huge problem in for all archers. Lots of us has to finance it all ourselves. Some get a little bit from the federations in the countries, and some are that good that they get sponsorships. The guys and girls you're going to see here at the World Cup Finals, I expect them to have some decent sponsorships, but they paid a lot of money themselves to get there.
They pay to play.
Yeah.
I've heard that from many athletes, many professional athletes around the world who are making millions. They say, oh, I'd play for nothing. Well, I haven't seen that happen yet.
No.
Try doing this, pay to play. These are dedicated athletes right here. Bostan leading by 1 as we open up the second end, and it's a 9 for Inge van Kaspel, just a little bit on the high side. Bostan. Another bullet right into the center of that target.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Trying to stay within 2, maybe get back a little closer, and that shot out of our camera sight. They've scored it an 8. Meanwhile, Yashim Bostan just seems to be getting stronger as the match goes
back
on.
in the match.
Yeah. Built
Maybe
herself a 4-point lead.
Start feeling comfortable on the stage. Inge's last shot was much more comfortable. She actually just drew the bow back, aimed, and did what she's doing every day for hours and hours.
What
just
comes
taking
naturally.
the shot. Yeah. Don't think, don't do anything, just shoot.
And conversely, we saw right there, for the first time, really, Yashim Bostan took an inordinate amount of time to get that shot off. Maybe she was thinking about it a little bit too much that time.
Yep. And then that's when your muscle starts shaking up and you start losing confidence in your head, and yeah, that's downhill.
Yeah.
And by that saying downhill, it's an 8. Well, she dropped 2 points from a perfect. It's not that much downhill.
Not that much downhill.
No.
But it does make the match a little bit closer now as Inge van Kaspel surveys the situation downrange. We'll get another look at Inge's style as she releases. Draws her right back along the chin line, back by her ear.
Exactly.
Yeah,
a steady arm of Yashim Bostan of Turkey. Yashim in 2016, bronze medalist in Antalya, lost to Dalia Crook there by just 1 point in the semifinals. She did finish also 9th in Shanghai at stage 1, where she also won a team bronze medal. So it was a good summer for the young Turk. Turkey versus Netherlands in this third match. One more yet to come. And that will be an all Danish affair. A little bit of a chill in the air this morning as the fans in the shadows coming out in their jackets, which I'm sure once the sun hits them they will be shedding. It's a beautiful day here. Very, very comfortable conditions for the World Cup finals. Here in Denmark, on the garden island of Funen.
9.
Links en 9.5.
You get it.
Links en een beetje hoog.
Where we're having fun. See how much fun Yashin Bostan has. She has a lot of it on that first shot. Maintains a 3-point lead.
She's adjusting her sight. Like I said, she wants to go a little bit higher in the 10. She's shooting the low 10, but she wants to get in the high so she can make a little mistake, drop it a little bit, but still get the points. If she drops it a little bit as her sight was sighted in, she'll drop out of the 10.
Inge van Kaspel making a bid at a comeback now.
So hopefully we see a higher 10 now. It was
There
high.
it is. So interesting. Somebody shoots a 10 and that seems to spur the competitor next to her to shoot a 10 as well.
Yeah, it can trick you.
They raise the level of their game.
You can use it positive or you can get down by it.
Challenged.
Yeah.
Accept the challenge.
Exactly.
You could see a little bit of a bobble. Her head moved just a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's 7. Ouch. That's tough for Inge van Kaspel. She had just shot a really strong 10, and here's Yashin Bostan. I got a feeling they're going to give her a 10 on that one.
As I see it, it's a perfect score. But let's see what the judges mean.
Let's see if it's a 5-point lead or if the lead is more or less. The Turkish flags are flying here in Odense, Denmark. Carl Arke along with Torben Johannessen. Unofficially, I believe it's 29-26 in that third end. First 2 ends were close, decided by only 1 point, but this third end, that's the moving end. 3 points picked up, at least on paper, from what we can tell. 3 points picked up by Yashin Bostan.
See how the release hand moves perfectly backwards and the boat just jumps straight forward. That's what it's all about. And aim in the middle.
And aim in the middle. And I believe, let's see. We'll wait till they post the scores again for us here.
But I bet you Inge wants to take back that shot and do it over again.
That third arrow.
She knew it before the arrow left the boat.
Sure, absolutely she did.
She knew it.
You could see her head moving.
And it's such a bad feeling.
So we believe it's a 5-point advantage right now for Yashin Bostan of Turkey. And officially 86-81.
10.
9.
9.5 laag.
It was actually a 6-point lead, 87-81. As Yashin had a perfect end in that third end, 3 straight 10s. Once the judges had a chance to take a closer look at those targets.
Looked like the Turkish girl just lost the rhythm in her shot. It took a long time. And Inge got it back.
Good to see Inge back there again. She's had some tough times though. A 7, 2 8s, a bunch of 9s, and a few 10s sprinkled in there. But Bostan has been the much more consistent archer. Inge still with a chance though. Ah, keeps hope alive.
That was nice.
Just outside the 10 ring, so she'll drop a point and lead by 4, 114 to 110 unofficially as we head to the 5th end. here at the King's Garden.
Ja, toch.
Going into our final 3 arrows,
It's,
and the winner moving on to the semifinals later this
Inge
afternoon.
van Kaspel, a protege of Peter Elzinga. Been on the circuit for quite some time. Her first World Cup final appearance, and the same goes for Yashim Bostan, who won a junior team gold medal at the 2014 World Indoor Championships in Nîmes, and was 4th at stage 3 in Antalya in 2014 in her first World Cup event. She would come back though, and in 2016 on Konialti Beach, pick up a bronze medal. So steady progression during Bostan's career, which is what you hope to see from these youngsters as they climb the ladder.
Yeah, you saw the head movement there. That's probably what cost her.
Wearing those blue glasses to help her see that target 50 meters away just a little bit better, create better definition of the different rings. Try to focus in on that all-important 10 ring. She needs 3 straight 10s here to give herself a chance. There's maybe the first.
That was the first one.
Well,
she's
one
definitely
down.
fighting back.
She needs 2 more to fight back.
That's for sure.
And needs a little help from Bostan.
Yeah.
And there may be some of the help she needed. So there is a 2-point swing right there. She just cut that 4-point deficit in half.
That's how fast it goes.
10, 9,
So if she can put them in,
7,
she's putting
5,
enormous pressure on her.
9.2 rechts.
9's good, but 10 would have put a lot more pressure. Let's see how Yashim responds to the 8 she shot on her first arrow of this 5th end.
Pretty good.
That's a pretty good response, yeah. That's a competitor. Down by 3, and maybe down to her last arrow.
7,
Inge van Kaspel of the Netherlands.
10.
Dials up a 10.
Yeah.
8 to win for Yashim Bostan. She goes one better.
Congratulations to Bostan.
9 is enough as she wins by a total of 2 points, 141 to 139. So Yashim Bostan basically leading from start to finish, wire to wire. And a little bit, I'm sure, of a tense moment there when she shot that 8 after the 10 by Inge van Kaspel that cut the lead down to 2, but she was able to hold her off.
She's got some heavy breathing going on.
A sigh of relief.
And I bet that's 8.
Yeah.
That still is kicking in her.
Live to fight another day, despite that 8.
Yeah.
And once again, we'll take another look. Slow motion. The form of Inge van Kaspel and Yashim Bostan. Look how steady.
See that bow arm? It's just so strong. And
Doesn't
it's just,
move.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, gets a big hug from her coach, who now says, okay, 1 down. Let's go back. We'll regroup. There's more work to be done here today. As Yashim Bostan joins Marcella Tonioli and Crystal Govin as survivors. I won't even say winners. I'll just say survivors here in the first round.
Yeah. But you can see the flag on the top of the castle, and the wind appears to pick up a little bit. It's not a lot, but we got these big trees around here, and behind the trees we got some tall buildings, and it can actually make the wind sweep a little bit, so you get problems by controlling the direction of the wind. Exactly, it can change very fast.
So now, the all-Danish affair we talked about. In the 4th and the final match in this first round for the women in compound, here will be 2 Danish archers going at it. This is Sarah Holst Sondershit, 21 years old, ranked 3rd in the world, already has 36 wins in her career. None of them have come in a shoot-off arrow, and she is now considered the favorite to win this event, with Sarah Lopez having to withdraw for personal reasons. However, that being said, she does have to get past a very tough competitor in Erica Anier, the former Australian who moved to Denmark, now represents Denmark, 38 years young, 33rd in the world, 9.3 per arrow. In her career, 9 individual wins, 2 by tiebreakers, and had a good strong season this year with a 9th place finish in Shanghai and a 33rd place finish in Antalya.
I actually think that now that Sarah Lopez isn't here, we got Sarah Schønesen with the highest average score on the arrow with a 9.6. I think the next one was 9.48. So it actually makes a difference in the outcome, or it should. On paper it certainly does. Yeah.
Sarah also has the best match win percentage, 67% out of the 8-strong compound women's field.
Yeah.
So on paper, the numbers would say that Sarah Holst-Sonneschen should probably win the gold medal here, but it's got to be done here on the field.
9.
Here at the King's Garden. 9 for Erica Anier to open up. Has that visor to block out some of the sun, some of the distractions. Sarah.
It is actually that her left eye is a little bit stronger than the right, so it wants to take a little bit over. So she tries to block out take out a little bit of the left eye, so she can get a better focus.
A little bit more right eye dominant.
Yeah.
Look at those 2 shots by Sarah Holst-Sonneschen. She means business.
Yeah.
And you could tell by the way Erica released that one that it was probably not going to end up in one of the gold rings. 10-10-10.
Perfect score.
A flying start for Sarah Holst-Sonneschen. Big grin on her face. Sarah, this year a silver medal in Shanghai. Started off at stage 1. She was 4th in Medellin, almost won a bronze medal there, and then was 17th on Conialty Beach in Antalya. So she had a great World Cup campaign this year. In Shanghai, she had a 4-point win over Inge van Kaspel. Held off Linda Ochoa Anderson by 3 in the semis before losing to Sarah Lopez in the gold medal match, but only by 2 points, 147 to 145.
Yeah. And 2 points.
Yeah, 2 points
not much.
No, not much at all.
You see Erica, the way she treats her bow now, she knew that that wasn't a good release. It wasn't where it was supposed to be.
That was a grimace.
So many archers try to save it by moving their hand. You're really not that fast.
I've tried to do that when I go bowling, but it never works.
No.
Little body language, little body English. No.
Yeah.
No. First end in the books. And Erica Anier.
15. 10, 9.
With Martin Damsbo counting her down. Martin coaching her. We'll see Martin in just a little while. With a bow and arrow in his hands. She cannot miss.
15.
4 straight 10s by Sarah Holst-Sonneschen, and Erica coming so close. Trying to make it back-to-back 10s. They do put the asterisk up by it. They could change that score. No need to change that score. She is locked in. Sarah Holst-Sonneschen.
10, 9, 8.
Leading by
7,
5, possibly
6.
4. And a great shot by Erica. Erica Anier. Really strong. One of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet, Erica Anil. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection through the first 6 shots of this opening.
I just have to say, I'm amazed that she can hit the middle by her technique. Not that she ain't got a good bow arm and all that, but she really knows how to push that button. Normally, how we release the arrow is that we put on pressure and we keep on putting that pressure.
You just keep pulling back, pulling gently.
You don't push the button. You just keep on pulling back, and the draw from the bow will make it go off. And that is not how Sarah is shooting. She is really hammering that trigger.
Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to see it right here on the replays. You can see that's just a natural release. Here, watch her thumb. Yep, she's.
But somehow she controls it. But to young archers, don't do it. Don't go there.
It works for her, but
yeah.
And she's all of a sudden just emerged this year, really. We saw signs of it a year ago, but really came on the scene this year. That performance in Shanghai caught everybody's attention when she got to the gold medal match against Sarah Lopez and really went toe-to-toe with her in the midst of the skyscrapers of Shanghai. What a setting that was when we started off at stage 1 in the Pudong district of Shanghai.
15. 10.
Nice 10.
Yep.
Stabs that 10 ring. And the string of 6 straight 10s is broken with that 9 on the first arrow of the third end.
15. Yep. 3 o'clock.
Erica got another 10. You got the parents of Erica Anna.
Stærk, Sara. Kører du den næste? Helt stille og roligt. Bare giv den gas.
10,
Come on.
9, 8, 7.
9.
Just a little bit high.
Bare køb på.
9.
Yep, udmærket. Midten i højt.
Pair of 9s and a 10. Sandwich those 2 9s around that 10.
Erica takes this round with 1 point.
No worries. Fortsætter bare.
What many people don't know about Sarah Schønesen is that she actually have a shoulder injury in her right arm at the moment. It started 1.5 months ago. And as late as yesterday, I saw her put ice on it, and she's really struggling with it. So I cross my fingers that it'll hold the whole World Cup through here.
And then there'll be a whole winter and off season to try to recover and recuperate and get ready for next year. You know, it's interesting you mentioned that, Torben. People see this, they watch these events, and they go, well, it's only 15 arrows. They forget how many arrows each of these archers shoots day in, day out, practicing, and then, as you said, going to tournaments and shooting those qualifying rounds, those elimination rounds, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of arrows.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many. I know for my sake, when I was shooting on top level in the Danish national team, I was shooting every day, no exception.
And you have
between 3 and 5 hours every day. That was what I did, and I never stood on this podium. So apparently, I need to shoot more.
9.
Giv den bare gas, Sara. God rytme. Stærke skud.
10.
Yep.
Fourth end starts off with another 10.
Yep.
They've put it up on the board as a 9, but that's a 10 for Sarah, and that's definitely in the 10 ring for Erica. She's trying to push her teammate here.
Bare giv den gas.
Friendship put aside, they're now competitors.
Lækkert.
And that's back-to-back 10s.
15.
Sarah started off this match with 6 straight 10s to take the advantage. And Erica's been battling uphill ever since then.
Full knald.
9.
So with that 9, it's a 4-point lead, 116 to 112.
So 12 arrows, and Sarah dropped 2 points. Got 3 arrows to go. It's looking good for her.
Sarah Holst Sonnersen. Who won the gold medal at the World Cup Finals in Las Vegas. Seems like ages ago. It was last February. And actually, on the archery tour, that is ages ago, a long time back. But that was a good way for her to start the whole year. Go to Las Vegas and you win there. Gives you some confidence and something to build on, a springboard for the outdoor season.
Yeah, and a truckload of gasoline to your engine to burn off.
117 to 112 after 12 arrows.
Hey, anybody who goes to Vegas and wins anything, my hat's off to them.
Vegas is... Las Vegas archery shooting is the most nerve-wracking tournament
It's a little wild, isn't
ever
it?
participated in.
Yeah, the Vegas shoot's a little wild, isn't it?
Oh.
Bruce has done a great job with that. Enjoy going down. Of course, this year was so entertaining because of the man we'll see in a little while, Sergio Pagni. We'll talk more about that when he's up on the line, but it was particularly interesting this year. But Sarah Holst Sonnersen was part of that story as well. Tough shot for Erica to start off this 5th end. Not the way she wanted to start it, of course. That's not the target for Sarah Holst Sonnersen. That was Erica's arrow. Sarah was in the 10 ring again. She's been living in that 10 ring throughout this first match in this round.
What sometimes happens when the archers start feeling the pressure is that the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to lose energy in your shot. So when you're under pressure, you start maybe you start pushing a little bit harder in the bow, and that makes the arrow go out the top. So it's not necessarily a bad shot. It's just she put in 5% more energy, and that makes it go higher.
Basically, it just has to hit the target.
That's how to finish a game.
Wow. With style, with flair, 3 straight 10s. And again, as you said, Torben, she's not 100% physically, but wow, she was on her game. 3 straight 10s to start it, well, 6 straight 10s to start it off, and 3 straight 10s to finish it. And I'll tell you what, that is a genuine hug right there.
Yeah.
Erica Neer with a great deal of affection, and it goes both ways.
They've been shooting the team, female team compound during the World Cups around, and at the big ones as the European and the Worlds. So they're good teammates, and they're just not just competitors. So
well, with Sarah Lopez dropping out, that meant Sarah Holst Sonnersen became the #1 seed. And that put her into the position with the brackets where she would be paired with Erica Anier. Otherwise, it would have been Sarah Lopez shooting against Erica. As it is, the 2 teammates have to go in the first round.
Yeah, and like we talked about earlier, it's a little bit a shame because every archer wants to shoot their chance against another country. But can't always work out this way. I spoke to the American coach, and he told me that, well, to say, I was quite shocked that the Americans only had 1 guy in the compound men. And they said, well, we were unfortunately during the whole competition, we knocked each other out all the way. And that's what's happened when you qualify. So the leader of the
they knock each other off.
Of the qualification rounds will meet the last one, and that's how it works.
By the way, I am enjoying
Hans Christian Andersen.
That's Hans Christian Andersen, that drape where they come through the curtains there to come out. That's Seppi Siljers. We'll talk about Seppi in just a moment, but yeah, I see the profile of Hans Christian Andersen. Very nice touch. I like that.
It's the city where he was born, and actually I think there's only about maybe 300 or 400 meters to where his house is. So
history surrounds us here at the King's Garden as Seppi Silliers from South Africa takes the stage. Seppi, of course, has done a great deal of coaching. He's a great athlete and a great coach. And this year, he really did a nice job shooting.
he better listen up. It's his wife.
in Shanghai.
Always listen to the missus.
It can follow him the rest of the year.
Demir Elma-Achla, his opponent from Turkey. Demir, 25 years of age, number 3 in the world, 9.6 per arrow, 37 match wins in his career, 4 tiebreak wins, and of course he is the defending World Cup final champion. Got the job done in Mexico City last year. Now taking on Seppi Silliers of South Africa, 20th in the world, 37 years of age, averaging 9.6 per arrow. Seppi with 23 match wins in his career, 68% win percentage, and he's perfect in tiebreakers if it should reach that point. He is 4-0 in tiebreakers. This year, Seppi Silliers 6th in Shanghai and 5th in Antalya. Very consistent performance. And the thing about it is, these South African archers are so good. They're so strong. They're so far away from all the other competitions. It's so difficult for them to get there. But when they do, they take advantage of it and they do things like that. Strong shot.
They normally do a good job when they're out. And Seppi is good. He is very consistent and a strong shooter.
Boy, they're strong. So is Demir Elma-Achla.
Oh, yeah.
Who has steadily come on over the last 2-3 years or so and become a real factor in men's compound. Seppi zips it in there.
It looks so easy. It looks so easy.
He looks almost nonchalant about it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know,
then
he's
again,
not.
the easiest shot is a dead center because you don't think about it, you just do it, and boom, it's going to be there. The one that's hard is the one you're struggling with.
I'll remember that the next time I pull one back. Yeah.
I'll try to.
Torben said it was easy, yeah. Shoot it in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, but it for the archers, it really feels easy to put it in the middle. The hard time is when the wind starts picking up and your brain starts doing funny numbers with you.
Now you see the wind. Look at the trees behind Demir Elma-Achla.
And we see another style of release technique. He's actually shooting an index finger, which is for, I would put it in the same category as Sarah Sørensen. It works for him. But the most high-level archers in the world are shooting a back tension. That'll be either a thumb trigger or a real back tension, henge. But they shoot them the same way.
Seppi Silliers shot him straight and shot him true. 3 straight 10s.
Yeah.
And it was just like a walk in the park, so to speak. No pun intended here in King's Garden.
And to check my paranoia, you can watch the leaves in the background, and you'll see the trees will start whispering to the archers.
They were whispering, particularly on that 3rd shot by Demir Elma-Achla. You could see it behind him. The leaves rustling in the wind.
So now they don't just have to aim in the middle, they also have to be aware of how the wind works, how much there is of it, and where it's from.
Now a real mental game for Demir Elma-Achla. He's down 3 points already after the first 3 arrows.
That's a tough start.
That is a tough start. You got to keep your composure. You know you can't get it back all at once.
No, you just need to start putting them in the 10, and that's what Seppi does.
Seppi does. Seppi with 4 straight 10s.
Yeah.
On a gorgeous.
And he looks very strong, Seppi. That's. Oh, nice 10.
Demir down the middle.
Yeah.
Demir making his 2nd appearance in the World Cup Finals. Last year walked away with the gold medal. Seppi Silliers with his first. Well, would you call it a mistake? It's just.
I think something went wrong in his setup. Yeah.
So 4 straight 10s and then an 8.
Yeah.
So Demir Elma-Achla only down by 2 before that shot, and he might be even closer after this next shot by Silliers.
So for Seppi's sake, I hope he puts it in the 10 now. There it was, and right in the middle.
Maintains a 2-point lead.
Very good thing for his self-confidence for the next 3 arrows. That, okay, I made a mistake, done deal, get over it, and next arrow.
Tough to be
And
perfect.
That's what he did. You can't change the arrow you shot, so you better put the next one in the middle.
Play forward, focus on the next shot. Seppi Cilliers, who in 2011 finished 9th at the World Championships in Torino. On the World Cup circuit, won a team gold medal in Antalya in 2010, a team bronze medal in Shanghai in 2009, was the gold medalist at the 59th South African Championships, and has several silver medal finishes at the national championships in South Africa over the years. Putting on a strong showing here in the first round of the men's compound competition here at the World Cup finals in Odense, Denmark. Right in the heart of Denmark. Beautiful countryside. Enjoy the drive in. You don't even notice it, and all of a sudden you're in this beautiful, idyllic, very quaint city. Which, by the way, was quite lively last night. Coming to life, Damir Elmaçlı of Turkey. Calm, cool, collected.
Nice, strong aiming.
Caught the line.
Got it.
That's as good as being right down the center. Damir still down by a deuce. Keeping the pressure on, though. Seppi sticks another one in the 10 ring. Still a 2-point advantage.
Now you can see the flag on the top. It's a little bit hot, but you can see it start blowing wind across the lane, and they have to adjust to that.
So possibly 3 straight 10s. Can Seppi run the table too? Does. Got it done.
He got it.
And there's no doubt about it. We're going to have to wait and see what the judges say about the 3rd shot by Damir Elmaçlı, whether or not there was a 10 or whether it was a 9. Quite possible both of them were perfect in that end. Damir Elmaçlı, his problem was he fell behind by 3 early, and he's been trying to get back ever since, and Seppi's been holding him off.
Yeah.
Great focus by Seppi Cilliers of South Africa. Trying to make sure that bubble is level.
Yeah.
That's my problem, getting that little level. That bubble in there,
you need to get that bubble in the
lining
middle.
Up that pin, yeah.
Otherwise, you will shoot left and right, depending on which side it's turned to.
And for them, it's so natural.
Yeah, but it's actually some archers are using that bubble. When there's no wind, you keep it in the middle. You know you're shooting straight ahead. But if the wind picks up, you can actually bobble a little bit, make it go a little bit left, a little bit right, and you can actually aim in the middle, and the bobble does the shot go a little bit to the side, comparing for the wind pressure. So the arrow will end up in the middle. It's a little bit difficult, but a lot of archers are using that.
And all that comes through experience.
Yeah.
Knowing
and
those situations,
thousands
those conditions.
of shots in the wind, playing around with it.
The plane flying low over King's Garden. Damir Elmaçlı stays focused on that 10 ring. Meanwhile, the plot doth thicken just a little bit after that 9.
I bet Seppi liked to see that 9.
Focus mooi in die goud.
9.
Can't take quite as much advantage as he'd like. here in the fourth end. Demir with a dagger right in the center of the target.
Win line on Spanje wande. Sterk squid. 10.
10.
So it's still a 2-point difference between these two. Seppi Cilliers, who's led from the start, now leading 116-114 after the first 4 ends. Started off with Seppi jumping out to a 30-27 advantage with 3 straight 10s as Demir was trying to get dialed in, get everything worked out. And it goes back to the point you made early on in the day, Torben. I mean, there's only 15 arrows. You've got to be on top of your game right from the start. And that wasn't the case for Demir. By the time he was able to get rolling, he was already down by 3. And it's been an uphill battle ever since then. He's been great.
And why is that? Maybe he misses a little bit experience, needs more experience to get fired up from arrow 1, because you need to be there. There's no time to get started.
To gradually warm up and get into the match. Seppi Cilliers was ready to go right from the very start. And he set the tone with 3 straight 10s. In fact, set the tone with, I think it was 4 straight 10s before he finally shot one outside the gold rings. So Demir Elmachla trying to climb the mountain, trailing by 2, the 9. And we'll have to see. May not help him. And may hurt him. Seppi Cilliers hoping to add to his advantage and build on the lead. Does just that. 3-point lead now with 2 arrows to go in regulation play.
Nice shot.
Taking a stab at a comeback. But he's going to have to get help. The sun dips behind a cloud. Seppi Cilliers of South Africa, a little falter right there. Holding it, getting himself steady again. But it ends up in an 8. So it's a 1-point difference with 1 arrow to go.
That little twig you saw on his hand was where the brain goes, yes, no, shoot, don't, don't.
9.
That's the worst part that can happen.
Maybe not.
I'm out. No.
A 9 will win it for Seppi Cilliers.
Nice, calm, and keep on drawing back.
There it is.
And you got it.
It's over. It's in the books. Seppi Cilliers.
That's how you win.
Gets the
Put your stuff
congratulatory
together
kiss.
again and do the right thing. Forget the last arrow.
I like how you describe that. Yes, no, yes, no.
But you know, it's just like you got a white and a red devil on your shoulders. The one is saying, shoot, take it, you can do it. And the other one goes, no, don't shoot.
Not yet.
It can get better. And that's where the doubt comes.
That's temptation, isn't it?
No.
You're always thinking, maybe it's better.
Yeah, it can be better.
If I wait just a little longer.
That's when you're doing it wrong. That's when you start using your brain instead of just using your body and your muscles to take the shot and do what you've been practicing so long. That's the main mistake that archers do, is that they start thinking.
So the defending champion at the World Cup Finals a year ago in Mexico City has been eliminated by Seppi Cilliers of South Africa, who made the long trip here to Denmark, and so far it's paying off as he's able to come up with the victory.
Apparently he didn't come here to enjoy the weather,
which is absolutely stunning and beautiful and wonderful.
I must say, in
here
Denmark,
in late September.
This is amazing. It really is amazing.
I have to say, I was wondering how it might turn out to be when I saw this on the schedule many, many moons ago, but it is just absolutely ideal here in Denmark.
It could have been a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and a lot of low temperatures, like 10 degrees Celsius.
But there you see it yourself, what a beautiful, gorgeous setting this is on a great day. Temperatures in the teens Celsius, I believe, and I would say
Celsius.
maybe in the 60s Fahrenheit.
I got no idea.
Yeah, trust me, it's about the same. And but it's just beautiful, and no threat of rain. In fact, I think we're going to get through the entire weekend without any precipitation. Of course, I'm not a weatherman, so don't hold me to that. Rio Wilde, though, out for his match here. Rio Wilde of the United States, of course, one of the great decorated archers in the history of this sport. Rio, 42 years young, 4th in the world, averaging 9.6 per shot, 137 victories and 80% win percentage. Sherry, his wife, a big part of that, cheering him on in the coach's box. Rio's won 11 shootouts in his career, and he'll be pressed today by an up-and-comer from Turkey. This is Evren Çağıran from Turkey. 23 years old, 16th in the world, averaging 9.5 per arrow, has 23 wins in his career, 5 tiebreaker victories, and he has been a young man on the come for a little bit of time now. A year ago in Copenhagen, his last time here in Denmark, Çağıran was 57th at the World Championships. Then in Turkey at the Indoor World Championships last February, he finished 17th in Ankara. Then went to Antalya, and on Konyaaltı Beach this summer at stage 3, he captured his first World Cup medal, and it was a big one, a gold medal in a victory over his fellow countryman, Samet Kanyakali. So Rio Wilde and Evren Çağıran.
I must say, try to have a look on the stabilization on Rio's bow. He is probably the one and only that can shoot that heavy. It is amazing. I tried to lift his bow. Look at the difference on the front stab. It's 1/3 what the Turk is shooting against Rio's. It's amazing. But it holds, and the wind can hardly move it.
10 seconds.
Oh, it could move it a little bit.
A little bit. We'll talk about weight after this first end. Kind of an interesting aside. And all of a sudden, Çağıran grabs a 1-point lead with back-to-back 10s. This is the second men's match of the day on Compound Saturday, and Rio with a strong opening 29 score. Only missing a little bit on that second arrow. And it matters not, because the 9 by Çağıran ties it up at 29 apiece. So 29 all after the opening end of this match between Rio Wilde and Evren Çağıran. Getting back to weight, Rio Wilde lost a lot of weight about a year and a half ago. He really went on a big diet and slimmed down and
Good job. That's
looked
what I
great.
said to do.
Looked like he could become a male model. But then he added some weight back on, and he said it was because, you know, he just needed something to, you know, balance himself, stabilize himself a little bit more. He thought he got a little bit too light.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get too light, but for Rio's...
I know in our situation, yes, personally, I know I can't get too light.
I'm also glad that round is a shape. But for Rio, as long as I've known Rio, he's been, sorry Rio, a little bit chubby. And it works for him. So when he puts off a lot of weight, or takes off a lot of weight on his body, that will influence the whole setup, the whole way he's standing and holding the bow, and maybe he found out that it was good to lose weight, but he lost a little bit of his confidence and stability while he's shooting.
That's the word I was looking for. I don't think he felt as stable as he did carrying a few more pounds.
Yeah, and maybe it's because that he's been shooting that way for so long. That's the way he's been practicing. That's the way he's been used to set up his bows. That's the way he's in his mind when the wind blows. Well, that feels like this on this body. You change the body, it does influence the rest of your archery.
It is the norm for him. So is shooting 10s.
There was another American, Dave Cousin, who lost a lot of weight over a year. And all of a sudden, I think it took Dave about a year or maybe a year and a half to get back on his
Tekrar
level.
ediyorsunuz yeniden.
And he
biliyorsun
managed,
yapmayı.
but
10
maybe
seconds.
Rio
Hissetmek
just
lazım
realized it didn't work for him. So
5.
Held it a long time. Look at that group. Look at that group. Wow.
yeah, that's a nice
Güzel
one.
Evren.
And again, he's shooting the top of the 10.
Acele yok.
So if he gets a little bit lazy on the
9.
release or on the bow arm, he can drop a little bit and he'll still get the points.
That's the first lead of the match.
And he moves ahead by 1 point over Evren Şaharan from Turkey, who doesn't seem to be intimidated at all. You see these young archers coming along and, you know, competing against, I'm sure, Rio Wild is somebody he looked up to, and Rio, of course, I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that he's a legend in this sport.
I don't think there's a lot of archers that
Taking
has
pictures.
watched a movie with Rio or been sitting on the sideline and watched how he does it and watched him practice to try to steal some ideas, and everybody knows Rio. And he's a great guy too. That's for sure.
But they're not intimidated, and they're not in awe, and they're coming right after him.
I think they are.
You think so?
Before they get on the stage.
And then when they're there?
When they're there,
They
they made
settle
their
in.
mind up, and they try to look at it as, this is my lane, I'm shooting lane 2. Some of them will think, thank God I'm right-handed, so I'm turning my back to him. But normally you try to step into your phone books and close the door.
And be in your own little world.
Be in your own little world, got your own lane, you got your own target, and hey, there's no difference. 50 meters here or 50 meters in Turkey, it's still 50 meters.
Güzel. Biraz sol aşağı alalım mı?
And that's what we try to
Atış güzel.
do all the time, just what you're doing back home in practice.
Şaharan with a 9 to open up this
10
third
seconds.
end. And Rio, did he catch the line? It's going to be a close call for those officials. So far, no asterisk put there by his score. So that may stand as a 9, and let's see where that arrow ended up. In the 10 ring. Evren. Hoping he'll be tied after this shot by Rio Wild, and Rio hoping he'll still be up by 1.
5, 4.
Getting the count from his wife, Sherry, in the coach's box, and Rio responds and maintains that slim 1-point edge. Pressure still being applied by Şaharan.
Yine çabuk attın ama biraz daha güvendin galiba. Yaklaşık duruyorlar herhalde.
10.
Nice shooting.
So now they do have the asterisk by that 9, that first shot by Rio Wild. It could conceivably be the trifecta of 10s.
I think the judges turned it out, yeah.
So they did call it a 9.
They did call it a 9.
All right. So that makes things a little bit more interesting.
And here you got the judge looking at it.
From all angles?
The rules are you should look at it from 2 angles, and it's a magnifier. But if we look close, you can see it didn't. There's yellow between the arrow and the black line.
There's a little bit of daylight there.
Yeah.
Good call by our officials from World Archery. Rio with that style he uses, almost leaning back.
Yeah.
Leaning back in his easy chair.
That's also Rio style.
Yes.
It can be hard for your back for if you're a new archer and you want to shoot like Rio does, because all that weight is not possible. And then you lean back and you might hurt your back. So, but Rio might look chubby, but he's strong as an ox. Tell you that.
Country strong.
Oh yeah.
And he still leads by 1. Almost had 3 straight 10s in that end. But settles for a 1-point advantage. 88-87. It was tied at 29 after the first end. Rio put a little daylight between himself and Evren Şaharan in the second end, and then maintained in the third end. 6 more arrows to
9
go.
10 on the line.
I think that one is out.
Büyük ihtimalle oluyor Eva. Sorun yok.
10 seconds.
9.
Haydi bakalım. Çizgin iyi Eva. Kullan zamanı, güven
So an
kendine.
opportunity
Acele yap.
gone by the wayside that time for Rio Wild, who could have bumped his lead up to 2, but still could
Yep.
right here
Çok az aşağı
as the
alalım.
Turkish archer gives him an opportunity.
10.
Can Rio cash in?
Beklerken daha güvenli. Sadece bekleme. Basmaya devam.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Lead goes to 2.
Evet, basmaya devam. Dinamik bir şekilde. Aferin X.
Battling back. If Rio falters, it could be a 1-point match. It could be tied.
10. 5.
9.
It is a 1-point match.
It looks like he's struggling a little bit by getting his timing right.
You got it.
Could be a very decisive arrow in this match right
Usually
now.
shooting when there's between 5 and 10 seconds to go on the clock.
Yeah.
So he's not letting it wind down till it's
Şeyi fazla yapmak zorunda.
just about to run out.
Then we will have a tied match
that's
going
three
into the
more.
final 3 arrows of this quarterfinal match.
O kadar düzeltirler inşallah. da şimdi.
Team Wild from Pocatello, Idaho. And now the 5th end coming up as we get set for that. The Honey Badger, what a career he has had. And a good season that he's had.
Arrows good.
Finished 17th at stage 1 in Shanghai, was 8th at Coney Beach in Antalya, but between those 2 events, picked up the silver medal in Medellin in Colombia at stage 2. On what was our final visit to Medellin, want to thank the great organizing committee down there, the wonderful people of Colombia, who for 4 years made our visits to Medellin so memorable.
Beklerken son noktaki dinamizmi istiyorum, tamam mı? Baskıya devam. Arpacık durmasın.
When I get a vacation, if I ever get a vacation again, I'm going back to Medellin.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Oh,
place.
beautiful place.
Oh, yeah.
And now, Odense is on my list as well.
9.
Güzel. Güzel, güzel. Al aşağıya. Problem yok. Haydi.
Must give credit to the Colombians. They really did something beautiful with Medellin.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Aha, pair of 9s. 9 for each archer on the first shot of the 5th end. It's still anybody's match with 2 arrows to go, and Everett making a bid with that 10.
Good strong shot.
See if Rio listens to wife Sherry.
Yeah.
Ooh, kind of whipped it there at the end, but he got it to stay in the 10
He
ring.
better.
Yeah. He's got marching orders.
Dinamik bir şekilde devam ediyorsun.
9.
Ah, so Elma Achla with a 9.
Güzel, aferin. Aferin.
And that's what Rio Wild needs to move on to the next round. The wind
10
starts to
seconds.
pick up just a little bit. Oh, kept it in the 9 ring.
Just what he needed.
Just that close. If it had gone just a little bit higher, we might have had our first shoot-off of the day. As it is, Rio Wild is able to eke out a 1-point win over Evren Şaharan of Turkey.
Deme işte iyi bir ok değil, normal bir ok lazım.
Now you can smile.
I pumped that last one. I was like, dude, did I just shoot an 8? Because I was like, he's going to down there the 9.
Yeah.
The determined look on the face of the youngster from Turkey, just 23 years old, taking on the 42-year-old legend Rio Wild. And winning never gets old. And it's always, I'm not sure you say it's fun. I think it's a relief. Don't you think it's for a lot of people, it's almost a relief.
Oh yeah, when you shoot the last arrow and you see it hit where you wanted to, or at least what you needed, it's a huge release. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. When you're popping a bottle of champagne. That's how it works inside. It bubbles.
It bubbles.
Please welcome the coaches and judge for our next match.
So we're through the first two of the men's matches here on Compound Saturday. Rio Wild joining Seppi Silliers in the winner's circle. If you're just joining us, Sarah Holst-Sonneshen, Yashin Bostan, Marcella Tonioli, and Crystal Garvin of the United States on the women's side have made it to the next round already. Now we get set for what could be a very, very interesting match right here as we see one of the greatest of all time. From Italy, Sergio Pagni. Sergio saluting the crowd here. Sergio, one of the all-time greats in this sport. 37 years young, 12th in the world. 120 victories in his career, and taking on a young man from Croatia who's just 19 years old. 19 years old, about half of Sergio's age, but he's got a whole bunch of ability. This is Dom Budin of Croatia. 19 years old, 15th in the world, averaging 9.6 per arrow, has 27 wins already on his CV, and has won a tiebreaker. Only 1 out of 5, though, in tiebreakers, so he's hoping it doesn't get to that point. He lives and trains in Zagreb, Croatia, and will face the Sultan of Smooth, Sergio Pagni, who in 2016, Sergio finished 33rd in Shanghai and Antalya, however, did win the gold medal in Medellin. In fact, if my memory serves me correctly, defeated Rio Wild. Yes, that was a tough match down in Colombia, and Sergio was able to come out on top and win the gold medal, and that's what vaulted him here to Odense.
Nice start for Budin.
Budin makes a statement.
Well, he can match it.
Just like getting out of bed every morning, just comes naturally. Sergio Pagni and Budin both with 10s to open up. And Budin, as good as he was on the first shot, really drops off on the second.
9.
That one went high for Sergio.
But a 1-point lead for Sergio Pagni.
9.
Definitely not satisfied with that 8th shot.
Trying to build the lead up to 2.
10.
And that's exactly what he does. 29-27 in favor of Sergio Pagni, who's been there and done that in his illustrious career. Sergio, of course, we were talking about the Vegas shoot. He came into the Vegas shoot this year. He was the lucky dog down there, and it's a long story, but basically there's several hundred guys who are trying to be the one lucky dog. It's kind of a winner-take-all sort of a scramble, and I thought it was one of the most dramatic moments I've ever seen when he emerged. It's always kind of a secret who's going to be the lucky dog, and all of a sudden he walks out there, and you could sense the other competitors went, "You've got to be kidding." Sergio Pagni is the lucky dog. We got to shoot against him, and he won the whole thing.
Yeah, it's an incredible tournament, and I can only encourage all archers of the world to go over there and try to shoot them once, because it is truly amazing. And
hey, it's Las Vegas.
It's Las Vegas.
Even if you don't shoot that well.
Yeah,
it's Las Vegas.
There's plenty of things to do over there.
Yeah, we'll distract you and take your mind off of it. Dom Budin, down by 2 to start this second end, has his hands full with Sergio Pagni.
9.
È un 9 lontano a l'una,
A few more clouds gathering now.
9 or 10 on the line.
Lighting a little bit more flat for these archers.
Oh.
A rare 8
Molto vicine, sempre all'una,
for Pagni.
Čvrsto I polagano. Čisto, imaš vremena. Dobro.
Good shooting for Buden.
Točno došao vjetar.
3 straight 10s for Dom Buden. And despite that 10, Dom Buden has forged to the lead. 57-56.
And right now, unofficially, we sit 57-56.
That is the unofficial score right now. Dom Buden may very well have overtaken Sergio Pagni in that second end. Buden had some big wins this summer. In Turkey, I believe it was, he lost, or he defeated Dominique Genet, Mario Cardoso, and Demir Elmaachla before losing to Evren Charan. He finished 8th at stage 1 in Shanghai and then did win the bronze medal in Antalya on Konyaaltı Beach this summer. That was his coming out party.
Where he actually won the bronze against Mike Slosser, whom we're going to see in,
well, I'd say
5 minutes time.
5 minutes time, yeah. 5 or 10 minutes from now.
Yeah.
Mike is waiting in the wings along with a gentleman by the name of, I think you may have heard of him before, let's see, Martin Damsbo.
Don't know him.
Bring any bells?
No.
No, okay.
No. Yeah.
That'll be a great match between Mike and Martin.
That was my entrance to archery, was Martin Damsbo.
Really?
Yes, and his brother. And his half-brother.
So you can blame them.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately only for the good stuff.
Dom keeping the pressure on and building the lead to 2. But it's early in this third end. Still plenty of arrows to go. But each one of those shots precious, and that one hurts. Sergio Pagni flying too high that time. It took off on him. And Buden with an excellent opportunity here to widen his lead, and he does. And it is up to 3. Sergio's been in about any situation you can think of, and he's a great competitor, comes back with a 10, but you can tell he's a little upset with himself.
He's definitely not satisfied when he's shooting, and I think there might be a little bit more nerves on Sergio's side than he wants to. So he's probably doing a little bit too much power when he's shooting, and by that he's going out the top of the target.
So we could be watching an upset in the making right here. Would be the biggest upset so far. For the most part, in the women's and men's matches today, it's gone to form. I think people expected Crystal Govin to defeat Dalia Crook, Marcella Tonioli to come out on top, Yashim Bostan to come away with the victory, and Sarah Holst Sonishin. Seppi Silliers may be a little bit of a surprise with his win over Demir Elmaachla. Rio Wild, of course, the favorite in his match, but Dom Buden, of course, against Sergio Pagni. I think a lot of the money would have been placed upon Sergio heading into this battle.
Definitely. Although Domgoy Buden is really going up in his scores, and he's really getting a lot of stability into his shooting. But I must say that I was expecting Sergio to be the favorite in this match.
Well, he jumped out to a 2-point lead, 29-27 in the opening end, but a score of 27 points in that second end for Sergio allowed Dom Buden to shoot 3 straight 10s and take the lead, and he holds a 3-point lead as we open up the fourth end with a 9 from Sergio Pagni. And Boudin just keeps shooting 10s.
It's no fun shooting against the guy that does that.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Only thing you can do is shoot some 10s yourself, and Sergio responds.
And he did.
Dom is dominating. Boudin trying to bury Sergio Pagni. He's up by 4.
9 or 10 on the line.
Pagni caught the line.
Yeah.
That'll be a 10. But what will the lead be? It's up to this young man. A 19-year-old Croatian with another 10.
10, 10, 10. Nice score.
Wow.
And we talked a lot about it during the females compound. This is also the first time he's on the stage for the World Cup finals, and I bet he's gonna try to get back in the coming years.
Oh, I'm sure. This may be the first of many appearances we see by Dom Boudin of Croatia.
I remember him as a little skinny guy, and all of a sudden he
grew up.
He went to the gym, and something happened. He worked really hard, and he really put on some muscles, and his shooting really increased by him getting stronger. His archery got better. So definitely, boys and girls, go to the gym.
Drink your milk.
Don't just shoot. Also remember the rest of the body. It's your whole body that needs to function to do this right.
And you do see that. You see these archers are really athletes and work on it and approach it like other athletes do. And now, with the 5th end coming up, 3 arrows to go, Sergio Pagni with a huge mountain to climb.
He needs to do it like that. Put in the 10s.
All he can do is take care of his business.
Exactly. And try to put a little pressure on Boudin.
That
was the first point.
Maybe a little bit of a falter. Lead is down to 3 with 2 arrows to go.
And if there's one thing that Sergio can do, is to end strong. Another 10.
He still has a pulse. Little falter.
A little bit shaky now.
Yeah.
A little bit shaky.
Gives up another point. It's a 2-point lead with 1 arrow to go.
Yeah.
Sergio.
So Sergio needs a 10 and Boudin needs a yellow. He got the 10.
A surgical strike.
Yeah. And all Boudin needs is a yellow. And he got it.
Got it. There it is. And it's a
Congratulations,
1-point win. Maybe a little bit of that pressure started to get to him in that 5th end, but he was able to hold it together.
Oh, yeah. Well, you asked me how it felt when you got the job done. I bet you he popped his first bottle of champagne before he ended the last 3 arrows. And the last one now.
You saw that right there, the sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a 4-point lead and I wound up winning by 1.
Yeah.
I'm glad to get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's go back and regroup.
Let me get back on the practice lane and just shoot some arrows that doesn't count, that I can just relax and do my kind of shooting. That's what he wants to do now.
All due respect to Dom Boudin, this still has to be considered an upset.
Oh, yeah.
But all to the credit of Dom Boudin and his coach.
Coach Daddy. Papa Boudin, I used to call him. He's pretty satisfied. And I bet his sister is sitting somewhere around the audience and clapping her hands red.
Of that, we're sure.
Yeah.
Good crowd on hand here at the King's Garden. Watching some great matches. And we're down to the final match here in this opening round competition in the compound category.
This man is ranked #1.
And this should be a great matchup between Mike Schlosser and Martin Damsbo. There's a great look at Mike Schlosser, the Dutchman from the Netherlands. who is capable when he is on. I don't think there's anybody that can beat him when he's on his game.
He's on his when he's on, he's in the middle.
Yes.
and he doesn't want to leave that spot.
No, and he usually doesn't.
No.
Ron van der Hoff, his coach, in the box, and a roar goes up from the crowd here in Denmark as well. It should for Martin Damsbo. MD, Martin Damsbo. Martin Damsbo, crowd favorite here. Of course, this is his home turf here in Odense. 31 years of age, 8th in the world, 9.7 per arrow, 95 match wins. Martin Damsbo.
So this is going to be exciting because we actually got the #1 world ranking, Mike Schlosser right now, and we got Martin Damsbo, and Martin actually didn't make it to the World Cup final this year, so he's here on the white card, or
he is the host nation selection.
Host nation selection, that's what it's called.
That's right.
Yeah, and we actually got a competition going on here where the underdog could take it.
Oh, it's quite possible. Mike Schlosser is #1 in the world. However, Mike, in fact, has made no secret of the fact that sometimes nerves will sabotage him when he gets in the spotlight in big events like this.
I know that Mike have had some problems during this season. His qualification scores are extremely high.
Yes.
But when it comes to the shootouts, 15 arrows, he has really struggled with some huge problems.
And 2 9s, not bad, but
it's a nice group.
But at this level,
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm not nervous yet. But yeah, 2 points in the third 3. Whoa.
Martin with a chance to build a 2-point lead and get off to a fast start.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get to Mike Schlosser, you may want to get to him early, because he gets better as the match usually goes on. Finishes up with 28 points on his first 3 arrows. And Martin with a pair of 10s. To the delight of the hometown crowd, takes a 1-point lead. 29-28. Mike Schlosser. So far this year, Mike won the gold medal at stage 1 in Shanghai with a 7-3 win over Zach Garrett of the United States. He then finished just out of the running for a medal in Medellin, finished 4th, lost in the bronze medal match there, then lost in the bronze medal match again in Antalya. So that kind of goes back to what we were saying.
Yeah.
Gets to those matches, which is a huge accomplishment in and of itself.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing wrong in being top 10 archer. But we know he can do it, and I know Mike has really struggled, and it's been working so hard on it. So it's a little bit hard for me to sit here and comment it because, yeah.
Well, you feel a little funny criticizing because
I shouldn't say it because I want Martin to win, but I know Schlosser is an awesome archer, and
both great people.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Two
really nice
terrific people.
Yeah. It's just out. That,
Mike frustrated.
That look is not good.
No,
that is not good. He doesn't feel confident.
He was surprised.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, so the lead does go to 2 now. That's more like it for Mike.
There you go. Yeah.
And that time you could see the look of exasperation on the face of Martin Damsbo right as he released.
Yeah, he knew it.
Schlosser only down by 1. And it could
nice
be
group
tied.
in the X there. If 2 errors can make a group.
In my book, they do.
Yeah, also in mine.
10, 9, 8.
Trying to maintain his 1-point lead. He needs a 10 to do it.
4,
Clock.
3,
Time running down.
1.
Ooh, a 7. And you can hear the air go out of the crowd as the 1-point lead evaporates, and he trails now by 2. That's a 3-point swing.
That's a hard one.
26 for Martin Demsbo on that end.
So now it's all about accepting it was a crappy shot and just get on.
Tell me what you really think.
Well,
it was.
I know the archers around here. They know me, and
Martin
well,
will be the
most
first.
of them respect me for that I say what I feel. But it was a crappy shot. Otherwise, it wouldn't end up in the 7.
And I think
it is just something. It could just as well be a technical problem. It wasn't. So something slipped in his setup, and yeah. Hopefully, he can just get over it and look at the next arrow he's going to shoot.
Martin's got to forget about that, put it out of his mind. Trails by 2 now, 57-55. Tough to play catch-up, though, against Mike Schlosser. Martin Damsbo, this season, 9th in Shanghai, 17th in Antalya, but was the bronze medalist in Medellin. And previous World Cups, he was 6th in Edinburgh in 2010, 6th in Istanbul in 2011. Won the gold medal in Paris in 2013 with shots like that. And then was 5th.
That was how you get back from a bad shot, with a nice X. That's how you do it.
Damsbo 5th in Mexico City last year at the World Cup Finals, but now matching shots with Mike Schlosser. Schlosser leading by 2.
9.
Just outside the 10 ring. He didn't sound happy with the shot, but he should have been. Now he's smiling. It worked out all right.
It worked out.
3-point lead, and another 9 for Martin Damsbo. Leaves him vulnerable. Schlosser trying to build that lead up a little bit more.
9.
We'll stay at 3 apparently, 86-83.
And Mr. Demsbo on target number 2 will be shooting.
But the pivotal moment in this match, at least to this point, coming in that second end, after a 7 by Martin Damsbo, who seemed to have things going his way. His coach trying to pump him up a little bit.
So does the music.
Got to use whatever you can. Ron Vanderhoff, who's done a great job, by the way, with this team from the Netherlands, not just with Mike Schlosser, but the entire team that he has helped to build up. Well, you look at all the great archers from the Netherlands these days. Peter Elzinga, of course, and Shep Vandenberg. Look what he did at the Olympics in Rio in August.
They got several that really can shoot down there.
Oh yeah.
They do.
Inge van Kaspel made it here too.
Yeah, they got the females with them,
right?
Which is good.
Inge only coming up 2 points short in her match earlier today against Sheen Bostan.
Oh yeah.
And Mike Schlosser. You can always tell how Mike's feeling and what he's thinking. He's an easy book to read. His emotions are out there. That's part of what I like about watching Mike Schlosser.
Yeah.
Hoog op de rand.
Gashing that target, putting it in the same spot. Lead is up to 4 now. Damsbo bringing that crowd to life again. Had him behind him after that first end.
9.
Echt net erbuiten, ook hoog. Klein beetje geven.
Not over yet.
It's not over yet, no.
It's getting late in the day, though.
Comfortable lead that Mr. Schlosser have got for himself.
Okay, so that 10 puts a little bit of pressure on Mike Schlosser. And one never knows.
Nice.
A little bit of a hitch.
Tijd genoeg.
Settles in.
6, 5.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. Looked like he went to punch it.
Yeah. And not just punch it, but you saw that reaction on the thumb that he wanted to shoot, and then the brain goes no, and try it again. And that was what I told you earlier.
Yes, no, yes, no.
Zoals het hoort. Was je goed in aftellen?
It's not good, but he got it in. And if we should talk a little bit about that X10 where he shot the second right in the middle, and he looked a little bit disappointed and then very happy. I talked to a very great archer yesterday on the training field, and I wished him good luck today. And he said, well, I'd rather have luck than being good.
Very true.
But there's not a lot of luck in this game. It is hard work and
skill, talent, practice, refining the technique.
And accepting that you can make a mistake and then get right back on the track again. That's so important.
The mental fortitude.
Oh, yeah.
And there's Chef Vandenberg up in the crowd along with Inge van Kaspel. Rick van der Ven also there as well. Coming up from the Netherlands to watch. Not competing this weekend, but Rick, a great archer in his own right. Almost won a bronze medal 4 years ago at the Olympics in London.
10, 9.
9.
Blijven tellen, Mike. Nieuw van 2 centimetres.
So the fifth end starts off with a 9 by Martin Damsbo.
Dat zag er goed uit. Rechts een 9,4. Ietsje vlot was die.
Both with 9s. 2 arrows to go.
Yep.
And Martin trying to make those last 2 count.
Rustig blijven tellen.
9.
Drops a point. Making things more interesting.
It does.
10 here would put the pressure on Mike Schlosser. Martin's done just that. He's done all he can at this point. It is now in the hands of Mike Schlosser. A 9 will win it and move him on to the next round. We haven't had a shoot-off yet today.
There it is.
There's the 9. Kept it in the gold rings, and that's all he needs. And again, a sigh of relief as one of the great sportsmen in archery and all of sports, Martin Damsbo, comes over and gives him a hug, congratulates Mike Schlosser, who fell behind early in the match, was down by 1, but then a 7 by Martin Damsbo in the second end turned the match around.
That was too expensive for him. That was too expensive.
Too costly.
One thing is the 3 points you lose is on that one arrow, and another thing is the mental game. You really need to crawl up that ladder again to get back, and it's hard. So, well, maybe I'm a little bit mocked by the situation, and I'll call it he's almost a winner, Martin, for only losing with 1 point.
He lost by 1.
It's close call. Close call.
I've often wondered how long that stays with these archers. You know, a shot like that, that's 7. Hopefully he can get that out of his head, forget about it, move on.
He needs to.
Yeah. It's over. It's done with.
Do it over again. It's done. So.
And Mike Schlosser, the beneficiary.
Good pictures. That's how it feels.
That expression tells you the story,
There's
right there.
no champagne in that one.
No. Not at all. 142, 141. Mike Schlosser comes away with the victory in the final men's compound match of the morning. And now we get set for the mixed team competition. Before we take our break, so mixed team just right around the corner. Our thanks to Torben Johannesson for joining us here on World Archery TV. My name's Carl Arke, and we hope you're enjoying our live shot-by-shot coverage here from Odense, Denmark, right in the heart of Denmark. on the garden island of Hyundai. A beautiful, idyllic spot. If you have never visited this part of the world and you have a chance and you're going to Copenhagen, take a couple of hours and make the trip out here to Odense. Odense, the home of Hans Christian Andersen, the great writer and author. One and the same, I suppose. Just a quaint, beautiful, beautiful city of about, oh, they tell us between 100 and 200,000 people. We saw a lot of revelers on the streets last night, enjoying the nightlife here in Odense, as we get set to enjoy the mixed team competition between Colombia and Denmark. And out first, Team Colombia, Alejandro Usquiano and Camilo Cardona. Good look at the team that's come all the way from Medellin for this mixed team match. Alejandro Usquiano, 23 years of age, ranked 18th in the world, and Camilo Cardona, 21 years old, ranked 11th in the world. Of course, Sarah Lopez would have been on this mixed team, but had to withdraw due to personal reasons. And so she has relinquished her spot to Alejandro Usquiano. So Usquiano and Cardona facing Stefan Hansen and Tanja Jensen. Stefan Hansen on the left, Tanja Jensen on the right. Stefan, of course, 21 years of age, ranked number 2 in the world, and the defending world champion from Copenhagen a year ago at the Christiansborg Palace in Copenhagen. And Tanja Jensen, 21 years old, ranked 32nd in the world. Great archer in her own right, 9 wins in her career. It was on the team that won a gold medal in Ankara at the World Indoor Championships this past February to start the year off right. So this should be a good one, I think, Torben.
Yeah. And Tanya is an awesome shooter to shoot team with, because I don't know many girls that can shoot an arrow that fast.
There's one I can think of. There's only one I can think of. The Iranian archer, Fatima Al-Mashadani.
Oh,
have you seen her shoot?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Quick draw.
Yeah.
Alejandra. Bingo. Big shot to start
Nice
it off.
for Colombia.
Alejandro Usquiano. We'll get into her story in a little bit. Here's Camilo Cardona, who worked with us on the webcast in Colombia. I enjoyed working with Camilo.
I met him first time in Medellin, in Colombia.
Very nice young man.
Oh yeah,
and an accomplished archer,
and
to say the least.
Nice 10 shot.
Danish crowd with something to cheer about. As Tanya starts off with the 10, and here's Stefan Hansen, averaging 9.7 per.
There
you see why he's got that high average on shots per arrow, or points per arrow.
Yeah.
Shift the rotation a little bit. Now Camilo will shoot, and Alejandra will shoot last. She starts off and she'll finish. So Camilo, after a 9, comes back with a 10, and Alejandra will try to match the 10 she shot on her opening arrow of the match.
Oh.
That was a little bit of surprise.
Yep.
Her reaction as she released would not have led you to believe that that would have been a 10.
No. She might have felt that the arrow was going off a little bit to the left side of the target. But
Tanya too.
The same with Tanya.
Yeah.
She did also move her bow quite a bit.
And a little dance there.
And, yeah.
Now the 21-year-old, who is ranked 2nd in the world, Won a team bronze medal in Antalya this summer, and there's
another excellent.
Yeah, that's what we've come to expect from Stefan Hansen.
Yeah. He can really shoot some incredible grooves, that boy. And
starting to fill out a little bit. 3-4 years ago, he was the baby-faced assassin, and now, you know, he's growing up, getting stronger.
I think World Archery needs to recognize that Mike Schlosser and Stefan Hansen is there to stay.
Yes.
And we're going to see a lot more to those two guys. But Tanya is also coming. She is really stable and she's good shooting.
And the cheering section here in Denmark. A lot to cheer about. Getting back to Alejandra Usquiano. Alejandra won the World Cup finals in Paris 3 years ago with the great success of Sarah Lopez. I think a lot of people overlook the fact and forget the fact that Alejandra is a world-class competitor in her own right, and she was able to stand atop that podium in Paris 3 years ago.
She deserves to stay there. She earned it.
Great competitor.
Yeah.
And what a great personality. One of the happiest people I know. And we don't even speak the same language. We just... And every time I'm around her, she's smiling and happy.
I think a smile works all over the world.
All over the world. It's the universal language.
Yeah.
Maybe not smiling after that shot. Not quite so much.
Well, if that's the only one she's going to make.
Cardona.
Bien, Camilo. Muy bien, muy bien. Eso es.
Muy bien. I got that much.
So do I.
Pretty good. Tanya was on the team that won a gold medal in Shanghai at stage 1. Wind rustling through the trees right behind Stefan Hansen. But he still catches that 10 line, or inside the 10 line.
No, Camilo, vamos. Igual. Den kører lidt rundt.
Colombia down by 1 as Cardona posts a 9.
I just heard the Danish coach up there. He's telling the archers that the wind is sweeping quite a bit. So maybe that's why they get these little bit left and right shoots.
9.
That could very well be the wind that is teasing her a bit. So, yeah.
Midt 9. Lav tilbage. Gik til højre, Stefan.
Hansen trying to make it a 2-point lead. The 10 would do it.
15. Yep.
He must have been listening.
He must have been.
Must have been.
Coach just told him that the arrows are going a little bit right, and you saw he, what you call it?
Made the mental adjustment, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got it.
So right now, Denmark in the driver's seat. They'll shoot 4 ends, total of 16 arrows. And the top cumulative score comes away with gold medal. Mixed team play here at the 2016 Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals. Jensen and Hansen relaxed. Pressure more on Usquiano and Cardona.
That's one of the things that I think that a lot of archers could learn about it, is that when you're off the line, then relax your mind. You can joke around. You can talk about the weather or a football play or whatever. Just get your mind off it. And then when you step back on line, you're there 100% again.
Trailing by 2, Colombia to shoot first. Alejandra Busquiano. She's won 5 World Cup team medals and 1 World Championship team gold medal. Now she's after her first mixed team medal. But there's some work to be done here. She starts it off strong. Puts up a 10.
Muy bien, perfecto.
Camilo connects.
Good guys.
Good look at Tanya Jensen, who's part of the mixed team gold medal squad in Antalya a year ago.
Yep.
So she's had success in this format before.
Det er både, Stefan. Gør din ting. Midt i højre.
Making things more interesting. 1-point lead for Denmark. Here in the third end.
Gik ned derovre. Men er for okay.
That was close, Torben.
That was close, yeah. Just out.
Busquiano squeezes it and gets it in the 10 ring. Let's see how Denmark answers. There's an answer.
That's an answer, yeah.
That's an answer.
15. 10, 9, 8, 7.
A 10 would make it a 2-point lead again.
4.
Yeah.
There it is. So with one more end to go, Denmark still in the driver's seat, leading by 2. So just 4 more arrows left to go here in this mixed team match.
Still, nothing is decided yet. It's still an open match.
Tanya Jensen 21, Stefan Hansen 21, Camilo 21, and Alejandra 23. Youth being served here in the mixed team.
All
gold medal match, yeah.
All young shooters.
Yeah.
They got plenty of years ahead.
Colombia trying to make the long trip pay off.
Looked a little bit like he was struggling a little bit in the end of the shot.
The only 2 archers here from Colombia, in case you're just joining us. Sarah Lopez, of course, would have been the women's top seed, but withdrew due to personal reasons. Has some health issues she's dealing with, and so regretfully had to withdraw. Of course, that created an opening for others to come and compete. Dahlia Crook of the United States got a chance to come and compete. Did not win her match, but got some valuable experience. And again, the wind picking up a little bit more now. Winds of autumn. Pushing that shot down into the 9 ring.
So it looked like she did read the wind right. Just didn't put enough power in it. And that's what happens.
Fuld knald.
The Danes.
Det kører ud, Stefan. Gør din ting. Fuld ild. Midten i. Lige ordentligt der.
Held it a long, long, long time.
Yeah, I think he could feel the wind. I saw his bow wobbling a little bit.
Okay.
When we started the day, it was not a factor at all.
No.
Winds were calm.
It definitely is now.
Has picked up.
Bien, muy bien.
There is a front that is out there. Not supposed to get here till about Monday, maybe Tuesday. Let's
This is
hope.
Denmark. We're not that big. It doesn't have to be far from the shore to get here in a hurry.
Let's hope.
Yeah, definitely.
9.
Giv gas. Arbejd med den, hvis det begynder at blæse op.
So Colombia has completed.
The most important thing when you shoot in the wind is that you don't get scared, but you keep your focus. You keep your focus on what you need to do. And
20 sekunder igen, Stefan.
we used to call it we play with the wind.
Giv den gas.
So you just
15.
follow the wind and wait until you feel comfortable, and then you take the shot.
10, 9,
And
8, 7.
Let's see how Stefan Hansen navigates his way through the wind. He navigates to the wind.
That's perfect.
Battles the wind for the win. 155, 152. Denmark takes it in the mixed team match as Tanya Jensen and Stefan Hansen team up to defeat Camilo Cardona and Alejandro Usquiano of Colombia. So the fans here in Odense with something to cheer about as Denmark able to hold those bows high in the air. Salute the crowd. The gold medal going to the host nation. Stefan Hansen adding just one more victory to his resume. What a resume it is. We mentioned the 2015 World Championship that he won in Copenhagen a year ago. Also in 2015, won a mixed team gold medal in Antalya and a mixed team gold medal at the World Cup Finals in Mexico City. Captured a team gold medal at stage 1 in Shanghai last year.
But for Stefan's sake, it started a long time before
yes.
that. He took almost all the championships he could as a junior, so.
Been on the rise for a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
So we'll reset. We'll get set for the presentation of the medals for compound mixed team. Of course, coming up later on this afternoon, we'll have much more action from the King's Garden here in Odense, as Dr. Erdner and Mario Scarzella from World Archery in the front row. How'd they get those good seats?
Probably the best.
Best seats in the house. Great seats out in the house.
Yeah.
For two men who have done so much for World Archery.
I was just about to say that. It's okay for me that they sit in the best seats.
Yes.
With all the effort they put into this sport and bring it.
And you see how far it's
around
come.
the world. Yeah.
And having the pleasure and the privilege that I did to go to Rio in August.
Yeah.
And be able to watch that great event down there at Sambódromo in Brazil. And by the way, hats off to all of our friends in Brazil for what a wonderful job they did in staging a tremendous event.
I only saw it on the television, but
Looked good, didn't
I
it?
enjoyed every minute of it.
Wasn't it fantastic?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, some amazing moments.
It can only hurt my old compound heart that the compound bow is not on the Olympic.
Someday, hopefully.
I hope
Someday.
so. I really hope so.
You get a good look at the stiff winds blowing here now. But yeah, it was just, and you know, it's the culmination of things though. When you talk about Rio and you talk about Brazil and the Olympics and what we saw there, and saw in London as well, and China before that, it's been the way the sport has grown, and it's come on in the last, I'd say 10, 12 years. And you have to look to people like Dr. Erdner and Mario Scarzella and Juan Carlos Olgado, Chris Marsh, and people like that who have done such a great job of building this sport up.
Definitely.
Taking the sport around the world to great venues like this, iconic venues like the King's Garden.
Yeah, and also I think a big applause to the press, to the media, to the Archery TV that does an awesome job, I think. And I really think it helps archery around the world that they can start looking on YouTube, or you can mainstream it on Archery TV.
You can watch it live, or you can watch it later on.
It's a little bit difficult to watch it live in Rio when you live in Denmark.
Yes.
Or watch it in Denmark when you live in Rio.
Well, if you're on one side of the world and it's happening on the other side of the world, you might need to get your sleep, but at some point in time, you can watch these matches.
But you got a chance to see it.
Sure.
And that's important, I think.
Absolutely. You get a chance to see it, chance to watch the greatest in the sport in the world. And I think the coverage, and I think a lot of the credit for that obviously goes to World Archery. Juan Carlos Olgado really led World Archery into this world of more television exposure, more broadcast, I should say, exposure.
Exactly.
And
I really think the sport needs it, because that's a way to get great sponsorships.
And I think, too, we have to remember Jim Easton was part of that, as we congratulate Camilo Cardona and Alejandro Usquiano, who made the long trip from Colombia up here, put up a battle, but will not go home empty-handed as they win the silver medal here in Odense, Denmark, in the World Cup Finals. But Jim Easton, I believe, was also greatly involved with the development of this concept of a World Cup tour. Came to Juan Carlos Olgado and said, I need you to put this together. And Juan Carlos Olgado did it with the help of World Archery and a lot of other people. And because of that, you and I are sitting here today talking about Stefan Hansen and Tanya Jensen.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the sport really needs those individuals that just keep on doing all the politics, all the, from my point of view, all the boring stuff.
The hard work.
All the hard work.
And now the national anthem for Denmark. Right on cue, the sun breaking through the clouds as the national anthem of Denmark being played for the gold medalists. Stefan Hansen, Tanya Jensen, here in the King's Garden.
I just never get bored by listening to that kind of music.
Never gets old, does it?
No.
By the way, nice touch. Each of the medalists not only getting the trophy, but also getting a copy of, I guess it's a compilation of work from Hans Christian Andersen.
I think so. It might be some stories in a book there.
They have some stories to take home with them, no question about that.
Yeah, after all, number 1 and 2 in the world.
There you go.
That's it.
Good looking. Stefan Hansen along with Tanya Jensen. Stefan, that sleepy-eyed look.
The mixed team competition is a new thing, or pretty new thing.
Yeah.
And I really think it's a good thing that we start competing as couples as well. I'd like to see a lot more of that. And
it's one of the rare sports where men and women can compete together, and I think
exactly.
And we've at times we've seen women compete against men. I think Sarah Lopez this past summer shot against the men.
I've been shooting
exhibition.
World Cup tournaments back in Croatia, where we got this. Unfortunately, I can't remember his name. A switch guy was disabled. He's in the wheelchair. And he's shooting awesome.
Well, you're talking about...
All he needs is a guy to pick up his arrows, and he can compete against... How do you say?
Well, and you bring a good point, Torben. Matt Stutzman of the United States.
Exactly.
Who this summer in Rio shot so well. Didn't shoot as well as he'd hoped to, but still medaled. And came away saying, my goal is to compete with able-bodied archers and to be on that next level. And you know what? I think he can do it.
I know he can do it. I've been shooting that Vegas tournament where I was standing next to him.
Remarkable.
And I was so happy I scored a 300 on the first day. But he did the same.
Did the same and did that.
With only his feet.
With only his feet, has no arms.
No.
And what other sport can you say that about?
No.
I can't think of one.
Not many sports has Matt.
No.
He is...
Great people.
Oh, yeah.
Great people, and a sport that lends itself to that. And look at some of the reactions.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for us to take a break here. We'll be back in just a couple of hours with more of the compound competition here from Odense, Denmark. It's all coming up here at the Hyundai 2016 World Cup Finals in Denmark. For my partner, Torben Johansen, and our entire crew, I'm Carl Arke, and we'll see you soon with more exclusive coverage of the World Cup Finals here on Archery TV. Torben, thanks so much. Let's do it again soon.
It's been a pleasure.
And we'll see you again soon on Archery TV. Thanks so much for joining us.
Wow.